came here to learn how to, if you came here to learn to get revenge on somebody, this is not the place to be. Of course, I kept it to myself, but after a couple of weeks, I realized between the American Go-Ju and judo, I could really hurt somebody. And I'm not a I'm not the type of person that likes to go to prison. I feel very uncomfortable and claustrophobic to begin with, so that's not for me. So I learned from that point on that I could hurt somebody. That alone scared me until today. So I've talked myself out of fights, out of arguments ever since.
Let's talk
Around
about a little
19.
bit of that experience. Let me hear what it was where you finally get a chance to be in a martial arts operation. And like you said, your mom couldn't say anything. It was part of her credit. So how did that look doing judo and also the karate? Did you compete?
Oh,
Were you how many people in
oh,
class?
oh, well, in the karate class, there was approximately about 45 people. It seemed like being at Fontaines Karate. Uh, the judo class had about 12 people. I guess, yeah, karate at the time was a lot more popular than judo. But I figured whatever I can learn to improve my skills can only help me, not hurt me.
Now, did you know you was being taught by a legendary martial artist? And a lot of people don't
No,
realize
I did
that
not.
I'm not even sure his proper title. They just call him Grandmaster Gote for whatever it's worth. He happens to be Puerto Rican. Most people think he's an Italian guy, but he's not. He happens to be a Borinquen for whatever it's worth.
Yeah. All the guys in my school thought he was Italian. I mean, Gote, Puerto Rican. We didn't find out until, because since he was teaching in the police academy, and then on family day, he would have a certain amount of students come and perform at the police academy against the police officers there, where we won a few trophies. Um, that's where, and then we had like a little dinner afterwards, and his chief of the police academy ratted him out and said, "Do you guys know that he's actually Puerto Rican?" And you see all these heads just turned to the end of the table. And no, are you sure? Go take. Hey, that's the first time we
We come
actually
in all
knew.
shades of colors, right? Sizes and so on and so forth. Let me hear. Were there any people in particular that might have been an assistant instructor or guest instructor that you might have met that come from that same because Grandmaster Cote goes back to the Chinatown dojo with Grandmaster Peter Urban, so he's one of the first generation of what was Chinatown dojo training, I think.
No, he had nobody come in. It was just basically him. And but that was an experience in itself. There
So
was some class. Well, when I got my yellow belt, when I was going for my orange belt, I couldn't kick higher than the groin. He said, "Listen, if you can't get it a front kick up to the chest, don't even bother coming for your orange belt. When promotion comes up." So I made sure I got my kicks up towards the chest.
So that you compete in karate and judo tournaments, or give me an
Yeah,
idea
we
of
we
what
went.
happened there.
Well, the karate tournament we usually had within the CUNY schools. Uh, the judo tournament we went about twice to New Jersey. There was a place out in New Jersey for some judo tournaments.
That's cool. So you competed in both. And
Yeah.
any good results that you ever placed?
Well, at the police academy, I placed first place in karate and 3 times in second place in judo.
Pretty cool. Those trophies were different. They had like a little judo, a guy doing the high block or something like that, most likely.
Right.
So you finish John Jay. You're not training any longer. I think your life probably gets in the way and you get
Mm.
married or whatever the case may be. Give an idea of what happened to the next stage of your career. What was the highest rank you did? And
In American Goju, I got to brown belt and I graduated, and I also got to brown belt in judo. But I graduated with a school. I lucked out both times for my black belt. And in '94, My birthday was rolling around. My wife was around, what was that, 55th Street and Broadway, I believe it was.
Between 50
And
and 54.
she saw the sandwich sign at the bottom about taking some classes. And I was putting on a little weight. And she went, she climbed up all those steps. And she registered me to take some introductory classes and gave it to me as a birthday present.
Wow.
Now it wasn't, we didn't live that far away, so it was easy to walk over or take the bus from the job and come over. And I went there. That's where I met Sensei Johnny first, and he went through the whole curriculum and everything. I said, okay, for $20, couple of classes, and then I just got hooked.
So let me explain that, guys. We had an introductory program which consisted of 2 semi-private lessons, a group lesson, and the uniform, an official uniform. And this location happened to be at 1717 Broadway between 55th and 54th Street on the second floor of what was Robbins, the Robbins stores. And that location, the famous great grandmaster Aaron Banks was the same location, years before, and he helped me negotiate the deal. So his wife, Senpai's wife, actually gave him a birthday present for an introductory program.
And I got to meet Grandmaster Banks twice. That was really cool. And I never thought I'd get to meet him. And then yeah, and then my other 2 instructors was Sensei China Doll and Sensei. I always mess up. I'm gonna say Sensei No Joke because I always mess up his name.
Yeah, Sensei Mike Mugero or Malero, Sensei No Joke, who was there before he went over to Germany, but he was there as one of the instructors.
Yeah.
Then, so what? The funny thing. Yeah, I was gonna say, what else do you remember about there?
The funny thing is, the exact same thing that Sensei Gote had said, if you come here for revenge, this is not the place to be. Your instructors said the exact same thing. I'm like, but is this a tradition that every martial arts, that's the first thing that they come out when they see a newcomer come in?
No, but okay, think about it. God forbid you guys learn something and you hurt somebody just for the sake of doing that. They're going to find out, well, where did it come from, and you are attached, in one respect or another. Not that you have to get your hands registered, like people said, so that's really more like for boxing if you become an official, professional. But the fact of the matter is, it's always been shut down. And it's scary. You teach someone that comes in that's like, already dangerous and they want revenge and you arm them? Nah, not a good thing.
Yeah. Well, it was like one of the things. When I learned a true chokehold from Sensei Gote, and I saw the police officer apply it to the gentleman in Staten Island, I forget the gentleman's name, he choked the guy out. I mean, he did not have to choke him out. And there was a big thing about that.
Yeah, it was dangerous.
So
again,
I don't even like teaching that maneuver to anybody.
Right, we learned dangerous things. So what was, now the school, you wasn't in that school that long because we didn't have it that long. And what made you first join the school? Because it must have been oil and water as compared to what you was used to. I mean, you talk about stopping energy and the student creed and ABCs and martial arts. And what was your first thoughts of how this was different?
Well, I always wanted to be an instructor because it seemed like the thing to do. But I didn't have that opportunity at John Jay. So, but when I went to Fontaines Karate Martial Arts here on 55th, there was a program that you would take 10 classes and earn a star on your uniform. And it was like, yeah, I thought it was one uniform, and later found out it's 3 uniforms.
Yeah. So let me break that down.
Stars.
Let me break that down. I got that idea from the JK, the Japanese Karate Association. So basically what it is just because you're a black belt doesn't mean you're an educator. To be an actual teacher, you should be trained how to teach and how to motivate. So if you was part of the Black Belt Club, then you get an opportunity to become a part of the students, the special winning attitude team. or the students working as teachers, meaning the SWAT. But before you did that, you had to qualify and go to different stages. So every 10 classes that you participated extra, you got 1 star. That has nothing to do with the classes you took. Those are classes that you as an assistant, but as an assistant, all you had to do is walk the lines and maybe demonstrate things. And so you had 10 stars on one uniform, which was your Black Belt Club uniform. And once you got those 10 stars, you would earn a red and white uniform, which officially made you SWAT. But that 10 stars represented 100 extra classes.
My uniform had 15 stars.
Well, that 15-star uniform was the Delta. When you had 15 stars on what would have been, it was 10 stars and then 10 stars and then 15 stars. So on the blue and white uniform, you should have 10. On the red and white, you should have 10. And on the black and white, which was of Delta, that should have been 15.
Right.
Which totals 250, I should say, sorry, I'm wrong, 350 extra classes that you participated in on top of yours. But again, what made you, let's backtrack here for a second. So you're in Manhattan on the west side. There's no Frontenac Karate School unless you go into Brooklyn or Queens. So the closest one technically would be the Bronx, but it's on the east side of the 6 train. So your travel has to be close to an hour. What will make you even continue and not just go to another school?
Well, in my case, I didn't find it hard. I worked on the east side. I worked in the Chrysler building. I was the fire safety director and the administrative assistant. So it was easier for me just to take the train, bring the equipment with me from home, jump on the train, get to Zurich Avenue, just go downstairs, take my classes, help teach, whatever, jump back on the train, and head to the west side.
Yeah, but you had schools. All I'm saying is this: you had enough schools near you that would have been less effort. What made you again? What was different about Frontenac Karate for you when you actually saw the way we did things? What was the thing that stuck out?
The most important were the instructors. The way they taught, their attitude was almost similar to what Sensei Gote was teaching, and it just felt comfortable. I felt like I belonged.
Awesome. So now you're traveling to the Boogie Down Bronx. How long do you do that for?
How long was I there?
How long do you travel to the Boogie Down Bronx for?
Oh, let me see. You mean 1 hour one way, 1 hour back the other way?
Well, now I mean that you was there until the last day, I believe, that we even had the school. But before that, you was part of. I think you went with us to. Was it? I'm not sure if it was Atlanta or.
Yeah, went for the fights. Yeah, when Tyson fought this guy, and he bit him in the ear supposedly.
So we have a lot of history. What were the other things that might have stuck out in terms of, okay, how about this? You get into competition. So we were doing competition. How was that experience?
Yeah. Well, the first one was I got promoted to yellow belt. I was allowed to go to the Town Fiestas tournament out in Long Island. And we had coaches. So, they would yell 7, you would throw a 7, a reverse punch, an 8, an axe kick, whatever it was.
Hey, wait a minute. Hold on a second.
My coach.
We may have to bleep that out because he's giving the code of coaching. Some guys, we believe that instead of yelling out back fist, punch, kick, be first, like other people were yelling, that didn't make any sense. Everybody else can hear that. We had a number system that I actually got from all people. One of my mentors, which was Quajanem, which means Grandmaster Billy Black. He was the one that had a number system. And I took his number system and changed it around. Instead of coaching people with what would be saying the techniques, we use the number system, like similar to in baseball too.
And because of my coach, she was a red belt. I forget her name, and that really bothers me. But she helped me win my first place trophy with Frontenac Karate. And I also won.
Wait. Hold on a second. What did she yell out that you wasn't sure of and you threw it?
I was terrible doing an axe kick. That's just the honest truth. I could have saved my life to do it. But apparently she saw something that I did not see whatsoever. And she had me stop because she kept yelling it out. And I'm like, I can't do that. She called time. I went over. She told, throw it. I'm telling you, throw it. I'm like, I can't. Trust me. Okay. She's a higher rank than I am. I got to respect what she's saying. And the guy, I guess she saw the guy rush me the first time. So she figured the guy's going to rush me again. And the guy did rush me. And I jumped. I can't believe I threw the kick. I caught him dead smack just under his chin and brought it right down. I was stunned. I couldn't believe it. She, and she's like, "What did I tell you? What did I tell you?" I had no answer for her,
Yeah.
but I won because of her.
I remember that you had a challenge afterwards, and now you got this big trophy, and you're out in Long Island, and now you got to get home.
We came. There was like 30 of us or 40 of us that went to that tournament, and I had to take a cab to get back to the train station, but that trophy was too big. It was as big as I was. And no cab wanted to take me. Finally, one cab driver said, "Well, listen, we lower both windows down and we put it sideways." So a little bit was sticking out this way, a little bit was sticking out the other end of the cab. And he got me to the station. Train was no problem, obviously, but I had the same problem when I got off on 34th Street. And it took me a while to get a cab, but we did the same thing there until I got home. And my wife was like, "Where are you going to put that?" It was a crazy
Yeah.
day. It was a
But how did you
Monday, but it was
feel
a
winning a
crazy day.
trophy that big? How was that feeling?
Oh, I couldn't tell you. That was I was just stunned. Because I was used to these little trophies that I had won. That was my first huge big trophy. And then I went to Lehman College. I won 4 trophies one day at Lehman College. It
Wow.
was I had great times. I had a great time, especially the time when you held that meeting for the instructors in your house, and I ended up teaching every class that day. That was a lot. And then the students, I was surprised that the teenager students, they wanted to stay to train with the adults doing katas for the next class. I saw no problem in it as long as they fell in behind the adults. And we had a really huge class that day. And
One of the things about functionist karate that a lot of people just don't realize was that on any given day you can have a different instructor, same curriculum, slightly different style and flavor, but still as effective. So you might have trained with 5, 6, even 7 different instructors.
mm-hmm, I did. I definitely did. Matter of fact, I went to all the schools. I went to Brooklyn, where Master Morrison was teaching, and that was a really small place. I went to Sensei Torres. It was like a big gym. I went there a few times, and I just had a great time going to the different places
And
and
that was
training.
during that time, it was the 1990s. We had locations in Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, and Manhattan. Even Malero had a place in Queens, and then we had a second school, like I said, Elder Avenue in the Boogie Down Bronx. So we had 1,000 students, and we would go to tournaments sometimes with hundreds of people,
Hmm.
and win just about every division.
Yeah, I would say so.
Nobody had
I,
ever experienced something like that.
I forgot where it was. You were performing. You were doing katas, and on the other side, they had some kind of photo shoot for some uh, lady weightlifters, and I'm gonna go on the limb and say it was dangerous that you did
Most
jumping and
likely.
seeing you, and I was like, wow, this man can jump. I want to get hit by him one time, and I did get hit by you one time in class, and for some reason, that's why people remember me. I went to a funeral, and the mother, oh, I know Frankie. He came out looking like the Michelin Man. He got knocked out. I was like, wow, that's how people remember me, the Michelin Man.
Hey, explain the Michelin Man there.
Um, I wanted to get some really nice equipment, and I didn't know it was going to be all of that. So I got a helmet with it looked like a football helmet. It had a what do you call that?
Face mask.
That yeah. And I got some really nice pads, nice big chest protector. I mean, if you were gonna hit me at if I went to a full contact tournament, you weren't gonna hurt me. And but the problem was, I walked out like a big robot. I could barely move in the thing. You couldn't hit me, but I could barely. I don't know how I was gonna hit you. Everybody in the locker room was just laughing because they saw what I didn't see. When I came out, now we usually line up for class. You put us in an oval shape when you saw me, and this was fight night. Well, at least that's what I called it, fight night on Fridays. And look at Rodriguez. As soon as you said that, I was like, I know I'm getting hurt. He saw something I don't see. I don't know if anybody else sees it, but when they start using my last name like that, I know I did something wrong. And you go on, oh, if I hit him in the head, he wouldn't feel it. If I hit him here, you know, he, where can he hurt me? And you found one little area. As a matter of fact, you never, ever chose me to fight you first. That day, I ended up sparring with you first. And this little part right here that was unprotected, actually, once I got hit, I actually saw little elephants and stars and stuff until you grabbed me and go, Rodriguez, you okay? Like I was going to say no. Yes, sir, I'm okay. And
Oh,
from that day on, that's what they know me as. I'm
oh,
just glad I didn't get nicknamed that.
oh my God. So would you say, see, Fontenay's karate had high standards, and we had students from all walks of life. You know, we literally had from 2 year olds to people in their 50s and 60s during that time. And you was one of the, what would be the elders, but there were people that were a lot older than you too. Um,
Mm.
but you was competing and you got involved in the instructors training program, which is pretty incredible considering your commitment from a distance. And then years after the school closes, why didn't you go train somewhere else?
I wasn't going to get the same type of training. See, your type of training was similar to Sensei Gote. I was not going to find that again. So it was just like, all right. And the funny thing is, I got to brown belt.
Right. Again,
And I was like, wow, I'm gonna be stuck at brown belt for the rest of my
Grandmaster
life.
Brown Belt.
I graduate from one, the other place has to close for whatever reason. I'm like, all right, I'm happy with I at least made the brown belt. I know I can take care of myself. So I was confident with that. The confidence was built into me by both systems.
But we would stay in communication for many, many years
Oh,
during, and
yeah,
I would call you at times of the possibility of things. And I would call you and you would pop up from Manhattan or wherever you was at.
right.
And that's why I say that you're my most loyal because you've been probably to most of the challenges, like whether it's me, but think about the different places we trained.
Mm-hmm.
From a dance studio
Yep.
all the way up in Throgs Neck to inside of a ring where the whole class
Mm-hmm.
was just inside of a ring to a hallway to the dance studio before going to the catering hall
Right.
because that was right after. I tried to keep a location near Midtown. It didn't work out, but we went to a dance studio a few times that was down there in Midtown also. And you know, it was challenging because at the time I relocated to New Jersey and then out that became a challenge. And I was going back and forth from there. And but and eventually to recently when we were in the East Village section of Manhattan, and that's where I
Boy,
believe
bo- boys
you
and
probably learned the
boys
most.
and girls club, boys and girls club. Before that,
Oh, oh, you know what? Exactly. Pre-pandemic, you was there not as a student, but as what you were, part of the instructors training program and teaching. And the plan was that I was going to go to Florida and you were going to stay teaching, and it didn't work out. Next thing you know, I'm walking in the streets with no shirt on in the middle of the cold doing some windhoff. And people think I'm
oh yeah,
nuts because I'm scared of the cold and I had to learn how to use my skin.
yeah, I remember that.
It's documented. So let's talk about the East Village. You probably learned more about yourself there than anywhere else.
Yes.
You became an official black belt, not in your traditional way, but in the hardest way. If I told someone, go through all the stages that Sempai has in order for you to be able to get your black belt, they say, can we just do something else? That's the hardest path to obtaining your official black belt. You earned it in so many different ways that the average person wouldn't be able to endure that, to be honest with you. How did that feel?
That was awesome. That was awesome. I didn't expect it neither. I was happy where I was as a Joe Shoe, as a brown belt. Yeah. And then receiving my black belt at a brand new school with brand new students and helping them teach. As a matter of fact, one won uh, at the tournament that we threw. She won a third place medal in katas. I felt very proud because I know I got into her head and she listened to what I was saying. So I know I was doing something right.
All right, let's talk about that. The UMAN OG, Fountain of Youth, National Tour. I come up with this crazy idea, and Senpai's been there many a times, even recently, before we got onto this conversation, because he's one of my inner circle people. So I have to check to see feedback, and I come up with these crazy ideas, and I call them sometimes. It's never less than an hour because I'm a little long winded, and I'm very selective. I won't speak to a lot of people. Since Senpai is definitely one of the inner circle ones. But I came up with this idea, the UMAN OG. What did you think about that?
Oh, I thought that was fantastic. Especially, I wanted to meet some of these guys that I never got to meet. Wanted to, heard of them, and then that's why I took the T-shirt out.
Man, yeah, yeah.
I got,
Man,
I got,
Senpai psyched me. Even though he was holding the fort, but he psyched me too. Hindsight being 2020, I would have put another T-shirt there because what he was able to do is, well, you guys gonna get a chance to see it sooner than later.
and Miss Little Bit was there with me, and even though because a lot of them had signed up with me through Zelle, even though I knew that all I had to do is just put a tag on them and they can go in. But I said you can't go in until you sign the shirt.
Ah,
That's part of the. So it was kind of like blackmail, but they all signed it, and it's the only shirt that's not numbered because you have all the shirts numbered, but that one. And right now is being put into a frame and being scanned for you. The other one, So I can't wait to put that shirt up. Now, I mean, I got
incredible.
people. I mean, like unbelievable. I met the best of the best.
And the thing about it is that literally it was done within 3 months during the
Hmm?
summertime, probably the hardest time of the year, and they came. Now recently we had a birthday party, and a
Yeah,
lot of people came again. What the heck?
2020 party. Yep.
2020. And we actually had a chance to well, some people had a chance to eat some pineapple Valanza check. But yeah, honey, you're supposed to take human bites. I'm not sure. She's cooking and she's picking. Should I put the camera? No, I'm not gonna do that. We always have a good time, right, Senpai? Even recently, we
Oh,
started playing
absolutely.
games. We had 3D Monopoly.
Yep.
What
Game of
what?
life.
Yeah, it's Game of Life. Somebody doesn't like Uno, but that's another thing too. Maybe she likes Dos. So again, in all of these years, we're talking about 1994. It is now officially 2026. Now, if you use your fingers, we're talking about 31 years, going on 32 years. Long time. If you're
Mhm.
30 years old, you might be a parent.
Yep.
In those years, what have been the most memorable things? You mentioned banks. You mentioned recently the tournament. What were the most memorable things? You
Well,
mentioned your tournament, the trophy.
yeah. Well, my daughter, Marilyn, for one. You got to meet her when she was like about 2 years old, and she liked coming to the school too. I used to bring her to the school once in a
We
while
got the photo.
in,
Where's the photo to
Manhattan.
prove it? We got a photo for that.
And when she started living in Queens, she joined Tiger Kim for a while.
Oh,
But,
wow.
but yeah, so school got in the way though of that because she wanted to try a whole lot of different things, ballet and this. I don't know if the ballet even worked out. I doubt it. Um, so that was exciting, and running into Sensei Torres on the bus when I lived in the Bronx at what Tremont and something. I forgot where it was. And I just got on the bus. He saw me right away. I did not see him. Well, you get on the bus and you don't say, us, Sensei. And I turn around. He's, he's sitting to my right. And I bow and salute. Like, oh, wait, everybody's like, what are these two people doing? They're crazy. And we talked for a little bit until I got off. Uh,
Yeah, when
training with Sensei Joe and Sensei China Dao, that was an experience in itself. I never saw anyone throw kicks the way she did, and working with Sensei Frazier as well. In his class, I pulled my hamstring. Rodriguez, was that you? Yes, sir. Get up, walk it off. Um, I even ran into him one time in the mall in the Bronx, and he was starting a school or had a school already, and asked me to join to help him. I'm like, whoa! But my third wife at the time wasn't really thrilled about that kind of an idea, but she was very jealous. So that didn't happen. I also I forget the name of the machine you and Sensei China Doll were promoting to do
the
the split.
Century Flex
I,
Master 4, that
yeah,
commercial
I
ran for
actually broke
15
it.
years.
I didn't think that could be broken. I proved everybody wrong. You can break the machine trying to push it too much. Uh,
Mm.
but yeah, I guess that the most fun I had was teaching, especially the little tigers that we had
Tiny
in
Tigers.
Zariga, the tiny tigers. Yep, they were incredible. And what am I remember? BJ working out with BJ, your son. I mean, that was cool. And I mean, a little guy, and he's a black belt. I mean, but I mean, you can see he really earned his black belt. He was in some house, and we played one time. You had like a little barbecue behind the house, and it was Sensei Frazier and Sensei Baez against your son and me. We played basketball. We whipped them. So that's what I remember. I remember all the times when I'm able to beat a couple of instructors. I'm gonna remember. I gotta remember that. Like when I first met you in the Manhattan School, when we were getting our yellow belts. You came in. We had a grandstand, and I thought I was gonna spar somebody in the class, and you're like, no, 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 we're gonna do it different. And you gave me Sensei Frazier to spar. Now, obviously, you didn't know, he didn't know that I had studied American Goju before then, even though Sensei China Dao, Sensei No Joke, and Sensei Johnny knew, because I had to sign up in the paperwork and stuff. And I scored 2 quick points. on Sensei Frazier, and you came out of the grandstands like I never saw anybody on fire like you were. Listen, you just won the world championships and this, that, and the other thing. If he gets one more point on you, I'm taking your black belt off, giving it to him, and you're gonna be wearing his.
Man, I
Like
didn't realize how mean I was. I guess I must have been mean. Jesus Christ.
I did like that idea. He did not like that. I never saw anybody score 3 quick points as fast as he did on me. After that, I was like, no, because you saw his black belt, you saw a little worn out, and he worked really hard to earn that black belt. He was not giving it up. He needed a little motivation. But then again, he was just he's a yellow belt. What's he gonna do to me? I mean, that he took it easy on me, but once you motivated him, there was no easy. And I had a lot of great times. I mean, there's
I
just too
think
many to count.
we're still having them right now. Next week we'll be in Atlantic City.
Yep.
We're promoting the new event. We're promoting, and then this other craziness that happened recently. This thing with these patches that people think I'm crazy, and
Mhm.
but we're helping people.
Yeah.
Talk about that
Yeah.
for a second. Talk about that for a second. I just watched the video when I put the patches on you, and you was a non-believer when you watched the videos, even though you knew I
Well,
wouldn't be a liar.
listen, I'm a doubting Thomas to the hill. I'm sorry, but at least I can admit that. When you did that to me, I'm like, wow, there's got to be a gimmick or something. And there isn't. The thing is, I mean, I put it on my uncle, and he's like, "What's going on here?" He showed his doctor.
Yeah,
His doctor,
Miss Hines was
his,
crazy.
yeah, and Miss Hines. I mean, I thought Miss Hines was going to fall here. She was leaning on my table, doing ballet practically, and she couldn't raise her legs because she had gotten hit by a bus. I think last year sometime, and then she had those 2 knee operations on both knees. She just
And
couldn't
then
lift
she
her
wakes
knee.
up with a shoulder dislocated. They must
Right.
have told her and
Well,
just
no,
I
no.
don't know what happened.
No, when she had the knee done, I think it was the left knee. When she had the left knee done, when they were doing that, they dislocated her right shoulder. And I mean, come on. I mean, it's just incredible what these patches do.
Yeah,
You know.
she was in massive pain, and she kept saying about the pain patch, the pain patch, the pain patch. And I'm thinking, well, let me do a diagnostic here. I'm not sure if we really need the pain patch. If we can give you stable and some mobility. And then she started, like you said, looking like a ballerina. Like, what the heck?
Yeah, yeah.
In a matter
And,
of minutes after.
I see, like my uncle. I just listen, Uncle Ralph. You trust me? He goes, yeah. I put the patch on him. Don't worry about it. There has no medication, no nothing whatsoever. And then a few minutes later, he's walking without his cane. He's not grunting as he gets up. I'm like, so I'm becoming more and more of a believer as I use different patches on different people. Like
Yes.
right now, I'm experimenting with not experimenting, but I'm trying to help my cousin in New Jersey who has a breathing problem. And I gave him a couple of victory patches of mine. And it's helping him walk better and everything, but his breathing is still so. Since now I have the defense, and I know the defense will help him. I'm going to give him that to try as well to help him with his breathing.
Now, there's not the first time I've looked for what would be alternative ways to add to our health.
Right.
But I've always been committed to helping people, but never with results like this. These results are kind of sometimes biblical. It's kind of scary when people's not walking and they stand up and doing like what Miss Hines did, where she couldn't get her leg up as much as she tried.
But the most important thing, and I tell everybody when I give them the patch, or even before I give them the patch, this is not a cure. This is to support you, to give you that extra little bit of more energy or stability, whatever it may be. So whatever the doctors are telling you to do, you do, but you use this to give you that little extra push.
Yeah, it's like a therapist that's supporting you, and now you have the
Right,
therapist
exactly.
beside you.
Yeah, because my uncle now he goes to the doctor. He carries the cane with him, but he doesn't use the cane.
It carries the cane to protect himself as a weapon if necessary.
Yeah. I told him, yeah, you know better than I do. You studied the martial arts before me. Hit somebody with the cane if they, they
Yeah.
get loud with you or something. But
So, what do you see coming into the near future when it comes to your personal martial arts?
hopefully, we can get back into it again, start training, teach again. I like teaching. I've always liked teaching. When I was a fire safety director in the Chrysler building,
There's a
I taught all the
possibility.
people how to
There's a
get their license.
possibility. Excuse me, sorry. There's a possibility you would have been teaching yesterday, or even a few times this week. So we're working on,
Yeah,
alternative ways to be able to make continue with the educational process. So sooner than
and
later,
I work out. I don't work out as much as I should, like when I'm in a class, but I work out a little bit here at home. I move things around so I have a little bit of room. But it's not the same thing as being in a dojo. You know.
yeah, I think you've been spoiled lately because we went on a beautiful operation. Didn't work out, but it's not because of our
Yeah.
efforts, because we gave it an all-out effort. There's no question about it. I can't say that, we didn't do this and we didn't do that, and that's the reason it failed. It just wasn't the right thing, which is
But
okay.
I just hope what they did learn they carry with them. You know, that they'll remember those little things that
Yeah,
we taught
I
them
don't
to
think they
help
can
them.
forget. I don't think they can forget that. However, moving forward, we do have quite a few other people who want to compete in a UMAN event. We're going over to Atlantic City, like I said, for 3 days this
Right.
weekend coming. And got a little bit here doing the interesting things. She was doing the happy dance again. And it's the combination. She does the happy dance, which is just two things. But she gets happy when she eats. So this is the whole thing that. But anyhow, um, if you had to give people advice in terms of martial arts, or so there's some people that never even had a chance to do it, or never had a chance to compete. UMAN OG gives people an opportunity to be 70 and the youngest person. What do you think about that? Someone says, I'm too old. I can't compete.
I'm 70. I'm 72 years old. If I could still do it, you could still do it. You know, martial arts doesn't have a time limit, and there's different studies. Like you do Tai Chi. If you like. I've seen a lot of older. My cousin Tony, he teaches Tai Chi, and he's what 75, 76. He's been teaching Tai Chi here in the senior centers for a long time. You
We had we had an
study something
85
that
year
you
old.
feel is good for you.
Right. We had an
There's
85-year-old
judo.
compete in the tournament. The average age was 65. The youngest person was 35, and most people had no idea that it's even possible.
Yeah. I mean, look, Miss Bryceland here when we had the school on the east side. This was her first time taking the martial arts. This was her first time coming to a tournament. She placed. She placed third place. She won a third place medal. You usually someone that's just learning. I believe she was a yellow belt going on to orange. She didn't make her orange just yet. But as a yellow belt, like I did back in '94, she came to her first tournament and won.
Yeah.
So, and I forget she's a teacher, and I think she's in her mid 30s, I believe. So if
Yes.
she can do it, anybody else can do it too. There's no restrictions.
But she was also down 30 pounds, I believe it was. So,
Yeah, she lost some weight too. So that's great. You know,
all right,
you just
Senpai.
gotta,
So,
you just gotta believe in yourself and realize, hey, I'm I'm gonna get hit, but I'm gonna return the favor. You know, just once you accept that, you're good to go.
yeah, but there's also a little unfair advantage, I believe, in training in foreign martial arts because we have a sparring curriculum that's been proven that really works. So when you go
Yep,
to tournaments, whether it's even you being able to do your skills or somebody on the outside giving you some advice, it's proven. There's a proven system, and that's the edge.
that's true.
All right, Senpai, I don't want to take too much more of your time. I appreciate you. I love you. I cherish our relationship. It's been phenomenal. I know the best is yet to come. And I just want to thank you again because truth of the matter is that it's really special to me. Every day alive is a gift. So this is the, they call it a present. So this is a gift, and I thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I salute
That's
you,
one.
sir. So when I say AB, man, you know what to do. AB,
See ya.
we out of here. God bless. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right. So, Senpai, literally, I'm recording this on Zoom while we were live through Facebook. And I'm going to see if this Zoom one, if it doesn't have an echo, that means I can have that as an option too. All right,
All right.
sir. Thank you
Yes,
very
sir.
much. But she's
You're
going
welcome,
nuts
sir.
over here. But I was
All right.
live right now. As we speak, that was already live. So that's broadcasted on Facebook already.
Okay.
All right, sir. Have a good
All
one.
right, sir.
Thank you.
You
Bye-bye.
too.
Bye-bye.
All right. Yes, okay.
Yeah, of course. All right, sir. Thanks.
All right. I'll just